The cargo ship was old and weathered, with rusted metal and peeling paint. It creaked and groaned as it bobbed up and down on the choppy waves of the ocean. It was a long journey, and the crew was exhausted, but they were determined to make it to their destination. Little did they know, they were about to experience a horror they never could have imagined. The crew consisted of 6 men, all of them seasoned sailors who had been on many voyages before. Captain James, a grizzled veteran with a thick beard and piercing blue eyes, led the group. He was joined by his first mate, Jack, a stocky man with a shaved head and a no-nonsense attitude. The other crew members were Bill, an old-timer who had been on the seas for over 30 years, Jake, a young and inexperienced sailor, and the 2 cooks, Mike and Tom. As they sailed deeper into the ocean, strange things began to happen. At first, it was just little things, like objects moving on their own and doors opening and closing by themselves. The crew brushed it off as their imagination playing tricks on them. But as the days went on, the occurrences became more and more frequent. One night, as they were all gathered in the mess hall eating dinner, they heard a strange noise coming from the cargo hold. It sounded like something was scratching on the metal walls. Captain James ordered Jack to investigate, and he begrudgingly made his way down to the hold. As he descended the ladder, the scratching grew louder and more intense. It was like something was trying to claw its way through the metal walls. Jack's heart raced as he approached the source of the noise. When he arrived, he found that the cargo hold was completely empty. Confused and unnerved, Jack returned to the mess hall and reported his findings to the captain. They all agreed that something strange was happening on the ship, but they couldn't put their finger on what it was. That night, as the crew settled in for their sleep, they were jolted awake by a blood-curdling scream. They all rushed to the source of the noise and found that Bill, the old-timer, had been attacked. His body was covered in deep claw marks, and his face was frozen in terror. The crew was shaken to their core. They didn't know what to do or where to turn. They knew they had to make it to their destination, but they also knew that they were in grave danger. They decided to keep a watchful eye on each other and be on high alert for any other strange occurrences. As the days went on, things only got worse. The scratching in the cargo hold became more intense, and the crew began to hear whispers in the night. It was like something was communicating with them, but they couldn't understand what it was saying. One day, as they were all gathered on the deck, they saw something in the distance. It was a small boat, bobbing up and down in the waves. As it got closer, they could see that there was a single person on board. It was a woman, dressed in a tattered white dress. The crew was hesitant to bring her on board, but they could see that she was in distress. Captain James ordered Jake and Tom to bring her on board, and they did so reluctantly. As soon as she was on board, the woman began to act strange. She would mutter to herself in a language they couldn't understand, and her eyes would dart around the ship as if she was seeing things that weren't there. The crew began to worry that she was possessed by something evil. Thanks for watching this video. For second part of this video, subscribe our channel and stay tuned.